Hello, you're listening to Hugo Talks. It seems like what I do on most of these videos is I take stuff reported from the mainstream fake stream media, whether it's on a TV news or from a tabloid, and I try to highlight how it's an attempt to manipulate and influence the people, to control their minds basically. Yesterday I did a video about the Sky News Doctor segment. It's not on YouTube. You can find it at hugotalks.com. A lot of people disagree. There's a lot of people that agree. Check it out if you haven't seen it and tell me what you think. Seeing the amount of trolls that have come out of nowhere in the comments on many of the video sites that I put it up on kind of makes me think I hit on a raw nerve somewhere. Anyhow, come and subscribe to the site to get daily video updates. Now, this one is real obvious. Again, the fake stream media trying to influence people into not being independent. Yes, not being self-sufficient and independent. They reckon now that that is bad for your health. I suppose you can't create a collectivist, communist society with people who are independent thinkers, people who think for themselves. No. Of course you can't. You need mindless drones. Here we have in the Daily Mail. Are you too independent? Expert shares the 9 questions you need to ask to determine if you go it alone too much, and warns that it can lead to stress and loneliness. And this so-called expert states being too independent can be damaging to your overall well-being, an expert has warned, and drive you further from those you might be hoping to impress. He goes on to accuse people who are independent and self-sufficient as being selfish, right? It can stop a person from having a sense of accountability, he says, other than being accountable to only yourself. They say people who are hyper-independent obstruct others from giving their help. This is a load of bollocks, a load of claptrap. It then asks 9 questions to find out if you are hyper-independent, which all sounds the same, all of the questions. Like, do you often follow your gut instincts rather than being led by others? Well, yes, I do, very much so. The clowns. Another question says, do you like to be your own agent or boss? Do you dislike being told what to do? Yeah. I would love to be in charge of my own destiny, and I don't like having people tell me what to do. It's total garbage, this article. It's very simple. Again, this article doesn't exist in order to warn you of the dangers of thinking in a certain way. It's trying to influence people to not be independent because the authorities don't want the population to be independent, free thinkers who actually question stuff. They want you to be mindless drones who are told what to do without question. They want you to obey them at every turn. So obviously they hate the idea of people being independent and self-sufficient because it doesn't work with their plans going forward. When we see passports and social credit scores being introduced, 24/7 tracking, monitoring people, restricting people's freedom of movement on account of their compliance, you're looking at an establishment trying to completely control you. And they can control you if you are dependent on the state. Being dependent on the state is the opposite of being independent. That's why furlough is thrown around and how that is now being labelled as the precursor to universal basic income. They want you dependent upon the state. The last thing they want is people to become independent, growing their own food or running their own business or just thinking outside the box independently, thinking outside the narrative that these organisations are trying to serve up to you every day, their narrative. It's one of the reasons why I set up the forum at hugotalks.com, because I had so many people wanting to grow veg and they wanted to connect with others and try and share an allotment somewhere so that people could become more independent. It's very clear what this article is all about. I mean, now is a time when being independent is of great benefit to you. Look at all of the people in jobs with employers telling them, oh, you've got to do this, and you've got to do that, or you're out, or whatever, which, by the way, is illegal if you have a contract. Being your own boss is a great situation to be in at the moment, and being your own boss would only ever happen. You'd only ever be in that situation from someone having an independent mindset. Look at all these control freaks who are billionaires, who are funding organizations and the media around the world. They are their own bosses. They are independent. They just don't want you to be independent because they see you as cattle that belongs to them to use and exploit. If there are problems down the road in regards to food, whether it's shortages or something to do with passports, growing your own food will be of incredible benefit. So independence, self-sufficiency, being able to rely on yourself, having a skill set, looking after yourself health-wise is all important these days. It's so important. And here we have the fake stream media telling you, oh, I don't know about being independent. It could be bad for your health. Look, you're not a mindless drone, all right? You're not part of a hive. You are an individual. You have your own individual character. That's what makes life interesting. They want to turn everyone into the same boring person. They want clones. They want clones queuing up for whatever they say. Everyone has something to offer. And being independent and thinking for yourself and standing on your own 2 feet without the assistance of the state is a great achievement to make. And don't let these clowns tell you otherwise. As always, thanks for listening. Come and subscribe to the tribe at hugotalks.com, a place for like-minded souls, and I'll see you later.